You ready? Hold that. We're almost gone. Almost gone. Flight's been delayed 25 minutes. We'll be in Europe sometime tomorrow. Alright, spin around, spin around. Grab the other knee. Not too fast, baby.
Abuelita, di algo.
¿Qué? ¿Cómo te sientes? Pero habla. ¿Habla? Sí, eso coge todo. ¿Cómo está doña Mela?
¿Está bien?
Sí, sí.
And that's it. Dice lo hold down the floor.
Ficando güey. Ahí ya. That's it. Don't worry. That's it.
A las 1:30
Hey, Dad.
ya, ¿verdad?
What's up?
Nothing much. Still waiting. Still at the airport.
A las 1:30, son las 10.
Send that chewing her gum. There you go. Give the look. Give the look. The look. The look.
It's really dark when I come over here.
Because it's light behind.
Pascual, que se vivía en la Pascualito. Pascualito.
Bonjour.
Hi, baby.
Hi. We're having fun. Can't you tell? Well, it's 7:15 your time. You guys are still sleeping.
We're in London.
It's 2:15 in the morning over there.
What's the hotel we're in?
No hotel. Baby smashes all over the room. Well, they brought us breakfast. We just finished eating croissants. We just finished eating croissants, coffee, orange juice. It was great. Do you look at the rest of the stuff? Nothing's left. We're watching English TV.
Hey, look who's there.
The sun hasn't come out yet. And it's 7:15. Sorry,
Hi, Lisa.
Hi. Hi, how are you? Mom, come on, you're the...
Hi.
I need a shave. Let me film you done.
How you like your trip?
I like it. Go back.
Talk, dummy.
Turn that off, please.
That was our breakfast.
A man of many words. Part of our breakfast. Food. This is some good stuff. Croissant. We're here at London, England, where people talk English. And it's easy to communicate, darling. Yesterday we were on a tour of the Thames River, and today we're gonna go to Westminster. Westminster and some other places of interest. And maybe turn it on so I can finish cleaning here. I'm cleaning the after being.
You don't need to clean. Tell them we miss them.
We miss everybody at home, Sinina and Brandy equally.
You who?
Brandy.
Forget it, Mom. You're old. You're history now. Okay, I'm shutting you off. Wait for Dad to come out.
Had to take one in England. Couldn't wait to get home.
How you doing?
Well, let me tell you. Last night we went on a boat ride.
Mom already told him that.
It was cold as hell. We had a good time. This morning, going on a little tour around town. This is a pretty big town, let me tell you that. And we're gonna go to the Westminster Abbey. And that's gonna be during the morning. During the afternoon, we are gonna take our leisure time and go to
Eat pizza.
Piccadilly Square. That's where all the stores are. And that's where we're gonna go eat pizza. Because we can't eat anywhere else, man. The prices here, $1 is only worth 50 cents. So we gotta look for the USA food. Like McDonald's, Burger King, Pizza Hut, Chicken Unlimited.
Money's worth nothing here.
Okay? This is the lobby of the hotel that we're in. Right now we're all waiting around for the tour this morning. And from here we'll be going to see a tour of the city in London. This is our last day here. There's Lisa and Bibi reading up on the tour book. Hi, Lisa. There's Beeb. Okay. And here's the outside of this hotel, which is really nice. Let's go outside. There's a fountain, just that's set in the middle. We're surrounded by office buildings. And all these are office buildings around here. See? Now this here is looking outside the hotel in the back. You can tell these are little houses, and they're all over London like this. There's one building which is under construction right now. See how the buildings are typical European. And here's a cab. Look at the cabs. That's a taxi cab. Double-decker bus.
A lot of people divorce themselves from the idea that they were part once of an empire for sentimental reasons, and because sentiment can cause a lot of problems. But everybody who speaks English, regardless of whether their folks, their ancestors, came from this area, if you live in an English-speaking country, you are part of a history, part of a story of global settlement, the world's first ever global empire, because your queen lives here too. The Queen of Canada is here, Australia, New Zealand, and of the 18 countries of the world. See the guardsmen outside? The guardsmen over there, in the Irish Guards. Going along there. Look at the lovely gates there on the left there of Newfoundland, and the gates of Canada, Canadians. They represent Canada on the left. Those lovely gates.
Round is a Bentley. These are for people that are unassuming, got more money, they know what to do.
Now that's the clock, Old Faithful. And this is Parliament.
Big Ben.
Big Ben, I'm sorry.
House of Parliament.
You gotta talk a little louder.
That's where the crown jewels are.
And those two towers behind there, that's the London Bridge.
Tower Bridge.
Bridge?
Tower Bridge.
The Tower Bridge. This is a bar.
And it's two shops, that's why the two doors, you see that? And it's built out of ship's timber. They used to recycle to build. And in this case they recycled the ship's rebuilt and built the house from that. During World War II that was all gone. And this survived literally because it was wooden frame, it would move with the bomb gun. If you come inside, I'll explain a bit better. And then you come out, take your pictures.
Lisa.
That 30. How much is what? £1.50.
We're in Dover now. These are the white cliffs of Dover. Where we're catching the boat to go to Belgium.
God. Wait, I gotta focus this. Hi there.
Hi. This took a 2-hour trip from London over to Dover, getting ready to leave for Brussels. I'll be on the ferry in around 20 more minutes.
Huh?
I'll see you in Dover and Brussels rather.
What about you, Mom? What do you say?
Leave it like that. Leave it like that.
And he's in the back room.
What time did he wake up?
4 o'clock in the morning, he walked back and forth.
Hey, did the date come on?
No. Yes. Hey, Mom, you look gorgeous. Let me see.
Today I'm wearing my looking around clothes.
Today's the 18th.
What about you, Dad? What do you got on?
This is my water clothes. Wait a minute, baby. I gotta take the date off. Come on, man. Put the date on. That's our travel agent, Henry. Tour guide.
We're on our way to Belgium now. We're gonna go to Belgium, across the sea. Across the big blue. There it is. The English Channel. It's taking me. And then we eat lunch with the boat. The ship.
Good.
Arrival into Brussels. We've been on this boat for the last 6-7 hours. We've slept 8, now we will be going.
No, these are students being initiated for college or something.
We're here in Brussels. It's nighttime. We just finished filming all these students being initiated. And we ran to this marketplace where they have all the buildings of the guilds. The buildings of the guilds. And each building stands for a different guild. Like this building that Bibi's filming now is the building for the brewers. The guild for the brewers. And each
That's
one,
a symbol, the horse up there is a symbol for the
Yeah.
brewers.
and each building all around this marketplace, they have these buildings. These date back 800 or 900 years ago. Each building now, what they've built out of them is pubs or a bar.
Look behind
This
me.
was the House of Parliament, or the house of all the judges and the big people used to congregate here. It's now 10:15 and we came here to film this because tomorrow we leave at 7:35.
This is too big to get in this.
It's too big. It's so beautiful. All those buildings, all those lights in there
Made out of
are
pig liver.
pubs. Pubs. Yeah, that building that Bibi's filming right now, those lamps are made out of pig skin. The inside of pigs.
Pigs.
And all these buildings had a guild.
I'm gonna film you,
They were
Mom.
either carpenters. Yeah, they were either carpenters or they used to take care of the horses, or they used to be making the laws. And now behind you is the Godiva building. Go for the Godiva building. That's where they make. They have Godiva there.
Chocolate.
Yeah, chocolate. All these.
You can breathe now.
Are you filming?
Yeah.
We're in Holland, Amsterdam, and we're riding on one of those. Look over there. Over there.
Where's the export? How you doing, Lisa?
Hi.
No,
We're gonna take a scenic tour. I love every bit of it. Scenic tour of Amsterdam. And then after that, we're gonna go eat. It is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's 8:10 in Miami, Florida. Look out the window. Look. It's 8:10 in Miami, Florida. It says in the morning.
8:10 Miami time. Recorded. And here's the date.
Actually built as a home for straggler houses. There live the poorer people. We have the same situation here. And when in this particular case in the 15th century the city was extended and houses were built on the opposite side, on our right hand side, seen from the direction of the Bobschoen, they had more room there and so they could build the houses somewhat wider. To make it quite clear, none of the houses we see here are from the 15th century. They are all not older than in the old days there were small wooden houses. Also, when you look at these small houses, you will find quite a bit of difference in height in the houses. We will then, for a short period, navigate on height in the houses. The river
Come on, baby, I got you.
are all for dredging. A little further on the canal, they are dredging. And that brings me to the Amsterdam, but they don't get following the depth in the canals. The depth of water in the canals is between 2.5 and 3 meters, let me say 8 to 10 feet. The wall, and that tower was a corner point in the defense system. Have a look at that tower, ladies and gentlemen. Only the lower part of it, until there where it starts to become octagonal. Think away of the entrance door, think away of the windows. That low round tower was the defense tower. Now the amazing thing, when they destroyed in the 17th
He said defense tower.
most of these city walls,
That's what it used to be.
they left several of these towers, not only
Look at
that,
look
did
at-
something on top of it, and now the question why. Seemingly
leaning.
just to make a nice looking tower. There you see the bungalow type, what I think are the better ones, and on the other side you see
We're in a shoe factory.
Make 40 kilos of cheese. So we need 10 liters of milk for 1 kilo cheese. First we put the milk in here. Until 29 degrees centigrade. Then pour hot water. Put on a wall. Let's start and run it. Let's make the milk thick. 5 cheeses. Put a plastic paraffin coating around the cheese. You guys better. Big one to run for more than 3 years outside of the refrigerator.
Good stuff.
Ask her, Lisa.
It's good. It's very good. Right here, have some. There's a smile. There you go.
There you go, wake up!
Hi, Mom. Good job at giving me
This is our guide, Henry. Hi, Henry.
Hi. Henry in his natural pose. Come on.
Our driver.
Gente frente there.
Henry didn't want to put on a polka because he was scared people were going to get up and dance.
Oh, well.
And we cannot stand while we're riding.
Exactly. Well, you hit your head.
If you notice, we're going
60 miles an hour.
almost 100 kilometers. There goes another one.
That's slow. You will see later on.
Oh, I know. I was stationed here.
We're in Cologne, Germany. I'm wearing cologne. Phoebe's wearing cologne. We just came over from Amsterdam. It's 11:30. It's 11:30 in the morning. It's been raining, but the drive was nice. And this is the Cathedral of Cologne. That is the name.
And it's also 500 feet high. It's the tallest cathedral in the world.
Cathedral. It is not the tallest cathedral.
Yes, it's the tallest cathedral of the world.
The tallest cathedral in the world. According to Louis, it's 700 years old. And this is the top of the cathedral. They make the copy, and here it is, so that you could appreciate what the top looks like. And that's the beautiful Cathedral of Cologne. And you could walk up, and we're gonna walk up in a minute, and it's breathtaking. Too bad it's such a ugly, foggy, rainy day.
This chapel is strictly for praying.
Here lie the bones of the three wise men that came to the birth of Christ. During the Crusades, the Crusaders went to the land that they were buried in, Bethlehem, I guess, I don't know, and stole the bones and brought them back to Germany, to here, to Cologne, and they're buried here. All around here they have different burials of different high priests. I don't know if some of them are popes, I don't think so. But kings are buried here too.
And this is a famous spear horse. These are the crests.
Filming the castles on the Rhine. It used to be that before people made their homes on the river, and it was the kings and the princesses and the queens that had their home on the river, which were castles. And they were close to the river because that's the only way of transportation, and that's when they would get their news. So therefore, the homes were constant to hear the news that came up. This is Joan, our friend from Australia. No, Joan.
Down under.
Joan? No! Joe, just J-O. No. J-O, short for Joanne. Mine is like Joe. Oh.
Yeah, that guy was smart. He built himself a little shed.
Tasmania.
Here's a castle that they converted into a hotel. This is Heidelberg. We're up in the mountains of Heidelberg seeing a castle that they have up here. The fog is lifting early in the morning. We're having a real nice day today, but we won't be able to see the rest of the town.
Didn't you tell us it was coffee every morning?
Yeah.
You did, didn't you?
Every morning.
Every morning.
In about 1 hour, all this be gone.
Started backwards.
Now here, this here, hello. They don't want to come forward. This is the oldest part of the castle, see? And this was built much later and then destroyed. Inside was all wood, for that reason it burned out. You know, they had cannons with fire. They fired it inside, and it fell through, and the whole thing burned out. This happened about 300 years ago. And this was built about 700 years ago, this part here. Now, these castles were very well protected. They're on top of a hill, surrounded by walls, surrounded by water. You could never get in these castles. It was impossible. Unless they didn't have any food anymore and they had to give up. You know, when they were besieged for a very long time. Or the enemy digged his way to the water supply for the castle and then poisoned the water. Then they had to give up too. And nowadays in German they still say if somebody's very demagogic in politics, they call him a fountain poisoner for that reason. So it was a very nasty thing to do. And more of the arms of the kingdom, Heidelberg, see the soldiers there wearing the typical uniforms of the 13th, 14th, 15th centuries. What do you call it? Armor, isn't it? There's a footprint. You see that down here? Well, there's a little story saying that one of the princesses had a visit that night, and the father came in the room, and the guy jumped out of the window. So, yeah.
One leg.
One leg only.
That's what she said. I thought.
Anyways, it's getting a little bit clearer now. See the river? Yeah. See the river? Yeah. The town is over there.
We're here in Heidelberg.
Heidelberg.
Heidelberg. It means the Holy Mountain. This was built and it is named Heidelberg. Come on, let's get so close. I forget what I gotta say.
How you doing, B?
That there's a face of a lion.
Hey, look on down. That's about 100 feet off the ground. How about the windows? You able to get the town a little bit down here? Actually, the fog is lifting slow. The sun's burning. You know why the sun is overcast by the castle. That's what.
By the mountain.
What did you say?
The sun. The fog is not lifting because
The castle's blocking the sun. Otherwise, all that fog would be lifted already. Hey, listen to this. Your mouth short.
Now we are leaving.
Heidelberg.
No, this room.
Follow me through the
This is a
castle.
lookout.
What was that, Dad? What chamber?
Look at that door. Look at the hinges on that door.
I don't have to go. I have to do a close-up.
Ah, they put a modern lock on it. This used to be a keyhole lock, one of those big ones.
Touring.
Now we're gonna start walking over this way.
That right there is a sun clock. Its shadows by the sun reflect the clock. See that? It has the numbers right there. That's what clocks it. I'm up here on a stairway taking this film. It's a good view. See the statutes? Those are the armored men that used to be there standing years ago. And there they are there. There's a top right there. There's Dad walking down. Hey, Pop! He's so friendly. Look at that fool.
Are you on the hooks?
Not yet.
Zoom into it when you get there.
There's the hooks.
All right, now those hooks were used to hoist because the stairways are so narrow. So you hoist anything you're taking up into the building and then you bring it in through the windows.
And the windows are right there.
Now this here is a sundial clock. See, we can get a more close-up picture of it. When the sun hits it and hits the numbers, the shadow will tell you the time. We're walking through the entrance, the bridges that lead into the castle. Can't tell, but each one of these archways has a door, wooden door that's approximately 4 inches thick. Now we're going down the road to where our bus is. You notice it's all cobblestone streets here, and it's the same thing leading all the way up the mountain to get up to this castle. This is nothing compared to what we're going to see later on up in the Alps. That's good old Elisa, always waiting and smiling. And she is signaling, hi. If you notice, we still have advertisement, the clowns. They always want to remind the other people that they're still around. There's our gathering point. Yeah, wait a minute. Got it. Danke. This town down here is where they make all the chimney, the cuckoo clocks in Germany, up in the Black Forest region. There's Mimi and Elisa trying to get across the street again. Hey, they keep waiting on me. I'll be there. Come on, smile. Hey, David!
Hello!
Hey, man.
Hang on.
Hey, man.
These are the Rhine Falls in Switzerland.
Tell us that it has 20,000 gallons of water go through that every second.
20,000 gallons.
For what? 200,000. An avalanche. How many gallons of water does you say goes through? 30,000. 30,000 every second.
See, the line has not been put in there. It has been carved out of a straight rock, you see. Why it worked. On top it says to the fidelity of the bridge of the Swiss. And underneath you have the name of the artist, Arte Torvaldsen. But the guy who did it actually, his name is Ahorn, L. Ahorn. See, he executed the work with the guy who designed it next door. In summertime, they have a beautiful musical festival here in Lucerne. They build a stage over the water for the musicians, for the orchestra, and then the people are sitting here. And there's a fantastic acoustic here because of that wall. You can hear very well. Now, if you're extremely bored again in the afternoon, up there where I'm pointing to now, see that? Yeah. Up the staircase, there is the glacier garden, where they show you the geological history of the area in the Alps and around Lucerne. Anyway, I want to show you something very cute here. You get in that souvenir store where they have the William Tell. There's an egg, you see that egg? It's a wooden egg. The Alpine rose and the Edelweiss is on there. Sometimes they have another blue little flower called Enzian. 3 typical flowers of the Alps. You can open this egg. Take this out. Put it in here and you have an egg cup. See? And you do it with the other side, do the same thing. You have 2 egg cups. That's 10 francs. You want to buy one, go back in the afternoon. Now we don't have any time. See? A nice little conversation piece. I've never seen that anywhere.
How cold is it, Elisa?
Huh?
How cold?
It's not cold. Turn it off, turn it off, turn it off.
Yeah, now we're on our way up to the Matterhorn. Oh, because everybody's going up.
Look at that. Oh my God.
I said, how did they ever get it up there?
Yeah,
Can you see it?
all the way up.
Oh,
This is where we still gotta go. We're at the midway point. Hey, Beep, how was your ride?
Great.
Down here, that's about night, right?
Here we are still climbing. We're going above the clouds now. All mountains out there. Oh, I'm shooting over you.
Oh, that, you sure?
Yeah, no, you're boss.
I know, that's why I'm trying to get my cringy hair out of his picture. It just looks like snow. Just on a big snow.
There's the side of the mountain. There's a crossway up there.
There's a cross on the top. Read it on him.
We're still down at the peak.
Mount Pilatus.
Mount Polaris.
No, Pilatus.
Polaris?
Pilatus.
No Pilates.
There you go. How you doing?
Pilatus. P-I.
Forget it.
L-A-T-U-S.
T-A-L-U-S.
It's a cross on top of that mountain. Whew. The air is very thin up here.
Come on, Pop.
Come on.
Huh? Wait a minute. Where you going? Down, down?
Take the stairs. Wait, okay, go.
This thing's killing me. I'm going to the Matterhorn. I'm dying.
Hey, okay, go.
Fire downstairs. I need my air.
To me, Dad.
Come on, B. On the side of the mountain.
Come on.
I can't find my grip. If you notice, I'm not smoking.
And you're turning yellow.
I had to throw it away.
You're very pale.
I lost it.
Is that snow right there, Dad?
This is the big one. Snowballs.
Throw more, Mom.
Hey, watch the ice.
Okay, you're on.
This is crazy.
Look, there's water through there. Dad, watch out.
Louie. Louie.
I got a grip.
Louie, stop. Look at this ice thing right here.
This is our hotel in Rome for tonight and tomorrow night. Come on in. And I give you a tour. Come on in, Louis. What they got? We have a nice toilet. Come on in, water closet. Come on in already.
What are you doing? I can't believe that. I just came out of there.
Go ahead in there if you dare. It's got at long last towels, not
And it has
sheets.
cloths, sheets over there too.
It has a blow dryer. Come over here.
Show me the blow dryer.
Come here.
Show me the blow dryer.
Blow dryer.
I requested it.
Yes. Come on in. Come on out, Louis.
Little
Shower.
shower. Close the door in the shower and see how it works.
I don't shut. It's easier from the inside. Turn it off. Then you go on. Here,
It's a nice looking room.
Yeah.
We got pictures. Better room than we've been a little accustomed to. We have a window, curtains.
Yes.
Oh, we also have a TV in this room.
TV.
We have a TV. Lots of closet space.
Okay, that's
a closet space.
Oh, there's Elisa with a closet space.
Yes.
Little comfortable chairs. Look at the chairs, nice and comfortable. Look at the tables, pretty little colors. Pretty colors. Wait a minute. And there's the Old Faithful, the American flag. We don't get to see that too often in this here country.
From the Pope comes out to bless the people in special days such as Easter Sunday, Christmas, and the day. So this monument is officially called the altar of the country. But you know, everybody in Italy likes to call it the wedding cake. And you can see why, because of its shape and its color. To the right you can already see the Colosseum. You go in there in a few minutes. But the street is now is still on top of ancient ruins. You can see some of the ruins which have been excavated already, coming out from the ground here on the right and on the left. Anyhow, this was where the main squares of Rome used to be. We are in a valley which is included among 3 of the 7 hills of Rome, which are the Palatine in front of us on the right, the Capitoline to the right where the wedding cake is, and the Quirinal to the left. According to the old Roman legend, Rome was founded by Romulus on the 21st of April, 754 before Christ, on the hill ahead of us on the right behind the church. Well, sorry to disappoint you, but it seems that this is only a legend. It seems that Romulus never existed. It seems that later the Romans like to invent a sort of a hero founder, and they like to call him Romulus, getting the name from Rome. And it seems that the word Rome is coming from Roma, which is an old Etruscan word meaning the city of the river. What has been proved anyhow is that there were 3 villages on top of these 3 hills of Etruscans, Sabines and Latins. They used to live on the hills because it was safer against the enemies, but they used to go down to the valley to the right, down below, to meet and exchange their goods. So down here at the beginning they just had a sort of a food market, and only later this became the social, political, religious square of Rome. At the beginning, the square was only there to the right, where there is an empty space at the foot of the hill. But then later, as Rome became larger and more important, the Romans decided to occupy the rest of this valley where we are now, with some other public buildings and small squares. So in the peak time of Rome, which is the 2nd century AD, all this vast valley running from the wedding cake to the Colosseum used to be a big square of Rome.
These are the gargoyles. They represent two purposes. One is to scare off the devil, that's why they have such ugly faces. And the other one is they have a hole in the mouth and they let the water out so that this prevents erosion of the church. And there is a picture of a man. There is a picture of the man.
On the 4th gargoyle.
The guy was so ugly they figured he should be there too. This is the back of Notre Dame. It's facing east. The front faces west. And this is, the sun is rising on the east and the sun is just starting to go there at 9 o'clock. This church, Notre Dame, was Marian. That's Marian, the Jesus Christ.
Very cold here in Paris, huh?
Yeah.
Here's the famous Eiffel Tower. Got me?
Yeah.
Shooting?
Yeah. You gotta speak, Louis. You gotta say where we are at.
The Eiffel Tower.
What is here?
Here we are at the entrance of the Louvre. We're gonna have an hour and a half.
So that everybody can see it.
There's over 400,000 paintings, exhibits in the Louvre. We won't be able to see them all today. In the Louvre.
It'll take you 4 months to see them.
In the Louvre, of course. At least 4 months without eating.
1 minute
dinner,
each
lunch.
painting.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 months. No eating. We're gonna see today. We're gonna see the Mona Lisa.
No washroom, no nothing.
We're gonna see the Mona Lisa.
This is a convention of news people all around here.
Look at this one.
This is Channel 7, our competitor.
We're going to see the right here.
The Louvre is divided into 6 sections. Now we are in the Greek section. So you can see a Greek sculpture in front of you. This sculpture is called Dame d'Auxerre. You know that Dame means lady, and Auxerre is a town in the east of France, in Burgundy, and the sculpture belonged to a collection in Auxerre. That's why it's called Dame d'Auxerre. This is a very old sculpture because it was made in the 7th century before Christ, so a long time ago. And maybe you know that the Greek sculptors had different styles. The first style was the archaic style, then the pre-classical style, then the classical style, and then the Hellenistic style. So this sculpture belongs to the first style, the archaic style. So it was made in the 7th century before Christ. As I told you, it was made with limestone. And first, you can see that this is a very small sculpture. Most of the sculptures made in Greece at that time were small, and you will see that this one, this statue, is very different from the Venus de Milo. The Venus was made in the 2nd century before Christ, so much later on, and the Venus is much bigger. So first this statue is small, and then you can see that the woman is not moving at all. She's very straight, very rigid. There is only one axis, That's because at that time the Greek sculptors couldn't represent movement. All their sculptures were very straight. You can see that the woman is wearing an Egyptian wig. She has a long dress with a large belt. She has a cape on her shoulders. You can see that she has very big feet and very big hands. She's praying. And look at her face. She's smiling. This is one of the first smiles in sculpture. And as I told you, the Greek sculptors couldn't represent movement, they couldn't represent the draping. So you can see that they drew lines on the dress to make the draping. Okay, so the Dame d'Auxerre, 7th century before Christ, archaic style. So now we're going to see the Venus de Milo, and this is a private tour. And it became the royal residence in the 16th century with the King François I. And in the 17th century, the King of France was Louis XIII. He was married with Anne of Austria, and Anne of Austria, the Queen, used to live in this part of the palace. So we are in the apartment of Anne of Austria. You can see the beautiful decoration on the ceiling. Of course, that's not real gold, that's plaster covered with golden paint. But the Queen used to live in this part of the palace. So the Louvre became a museum in 1793. It was not built to be a museum. That's why it's very tiring to visit the Louvre. You have to walk a lot. There are many steps. There is only one elevator for all the museum. So that's one of the reasons why the President of France ordered the construction of the pyramid, to make the visit more comfortable, more convenient, if you want. Okay? So we're going to see the Venus de Milo. This is a Greek sculpture with a Roman name. You know that the Greeks and the Romans had the same gods, but with different names. Her Greek name is Aphrodite, and Venus was the goddess of love and beauty. This statue is perfect beauty because her body is 7 times her head. There are 7 heads in her body. You see what I mean? The body is divided into 7 heads, and that's beauty. A Greek sculptor, Phidias, discovered that 7 heads were beauty, but we don't know the name of the sculptor. The sculptor is unknown. This sculpture was made in the 2nd century before Christ. She belongs to the last style in the Greek sculpture, the Hellenistic style. And you can see that this statue is very different from the first one that we've seen. First, she's much bigger, and then you can see she seems to be moving. She's full of life. She seems to be talking. She's starting to move, actually. Because in the 2nd century before Christ, the Greek sculptors, improved their style, and they could represent movement. So this sculpture was found in the 19th century in Melos. Melos is an island in Greece. That's why the sculpture is called Venus de Milo. You can see her face, typical from the Greek faces at that time, a very sweet face and a long and straight nose. You can see the contrast between her bust and her legs. She's naked, and then she has a draping on her legs. And you can see that she has no arms. The arms were never found. So the researchers imagined different positions for the arms, and you will see on both sides of the statue there are 4 drawings. They represent the different positions that the researchers imagined. They don't know which one is the right one. But they have even imagined that there was a man standing beside Venus. Some people think that Venus is too fat. Do you think she's too fat? No? No. But at that time, when you wanted to be represented, wealthy. And when you are wealthy, you have money to buy food so you can eat, so you're a little bit fat. And Venus is the symbol of women and of children. She has to be a little bit fat. And at that time, the idea of beauty was very different from ours. Now, the people prefer twiggies, but at that time they loved fat women in men that you were wealthy. Okay? But Venus is very well proportioned. So I give you 2 or 3 minutes if you want to go closer to take a picture. I wait for you here. From here she looks very big, very heavy, she's very massive. She's much nicer from downstairs. This statue was found in Samothrace. later, thanks to the hand, they discovered that the statue is announcing a victory of the sea. You see that the woman is standing on the bow of the boat, she's fighting against the wind. The wind is blowing on her, her wings are behind her, her nose are behind her. So the wind victory, 2nd century before Christ, this statue was in a fountain irrigated by an aqueduct. Okay? Then paint of the 15th century, Botticelli. And the 15th century was a very important century for art because a new style appeared called Renaissance. Renaissance means rebirth. You've surely heard about Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci. They were artists of the Renaissance. They lived in the 16th century. So Botticelli was one of the first painters of the Renaissance. At the end of his life, he met Leonardo da Vinci, and Leonardo da Vinci was very influenced by Botticelli. In the 16th century, in the 15th and in the 16th century, the most important art was painting. Painting was much more important than sculpture or than architecture. A lot of people had paintings at home. In the Middle Ages, only the wealthiest people had paintings, but in the 15th century, everybody had frescoes or smaller paintings on their walls. The artists were first painters, then they were architects or sculptors, but first they were painters and they worked for patrons. So as I told you, this is a fresco. I think that you already know what a fresco is. You know that's a painting made directly on the stone. And what is interesting on the paintings made by Botticelli, first the faces. You can see all the women have the same face. A very sweet face and a long and blonde hair. They are very graceful. This face was beauty for Botticelli because he was in love with the woman who had this face. Okay, so all the women have the same face. Then you can see the colors, very sweet colors, pastel. And you can see the feet. On the feet made by Botticelli, the second toe is always longer than the others. Typical from Botticelli. A lot of people have the second toe longer, but on all the paintings made by Botticelli, the second toe is longer. Okay? So the faces, the colors, and the feet. So now we're getting to the 19th century. We have to go back. In front of you can see a painting made by a French painter of the 19th century, De La Croix. This painting is called The Liberty Guiding the People. You remember the French Revolution that broke out in 1789, the fall of the Bastille, the king and the queen were beheaded. But in 1830, July 1830, another revolution broke out in France. It lasted 3 days. The painting that you can see in front of you represents that the other revolution in France. So you have the liberty in the middle. Actually, that's the French Republic. The French Republic has a name, Marianne. You can see her face on the French stamps. And the revolution of 1830, not the first one, but the second revolution, brought another king. And his name was Louis Philippe. He was the last king of France. So you can see that the revolution took place in France, and in Paris you can see the 2 towers of Notre Dame Cathedral. Okay? And if you have a banknote, a French banknote of 100 francs, you can see this painting on the okay? These rooms were made by Italian painters of the 16th century, of the Renaissance. For instance, the Mona Lisa, you can see her behind the glass. Mona Lisa was made by an Italian painter whose name was Leonardo da Vinci. But Leonardo da Vinci was not only a painter, he was also a sculptor, an architect. He had many, many activities. And Mona Lisa was the wife of an Italian noble whose name was Giocondo. That's why in French the painting is called La Joconde. The painting was started in 1503 and finished in 1505. Maybe you know that at the end of his life, Leonardo da Vinci came to France. He brought the painting painting Mona Lisa. That's one of the only paintings that he brought to France. It means that it was one of his favorite paintings. What is interesting on the painting? First, the eyes. They always follow you. Everywhere you go in the room, the eyes follow you. Also the landscape. Leonardo da Vinci created a technique called sfumato. It means that Mona Lisa and the landscape match very well. There is no contrast between Mona Lisa's hair and the landscape. Mona Lisa seems to be included in the landscape. And also the smile, a very mysterious smile. Mona Lisa is not really smiling, she's starting to smile, and it's very difficult to represent somebody who is starting to smile. It was told that there was someone who was playing music while Leonardo was painting, that's why Mona Lisa is smiling. Mona Lisa is the most expensive painting in the world. No insurance company wants to insure the Mona Lisa, that's why she's behind the glass. Mona Lisa doesn't travel anymore, she stays here. The last time she traveled, she went to the United States to an exhibition in Chicago, but now she stays here. It's too dangerous for her to travel. There are many stories about the Mona Lisa. Some people say that Mona Lisa is a man. And we will see another painting made by Leonardo da Vinci. That painting represents a man. He has the same face as Mona Lisa. Other people say that Mona Lisa was pregnant when the painting was made. Other people say that there are many women in Mona Lisa. For instance, the face doesn't belong to the same person as the hands. And other people say that Leonardo da Vinci made a self-portrait. There was an article in the Time magazine and the journalist said that Leonardo represented himself. So many stories that in the painting is much more important than all the stories that can be said about it. You will see when it's too hot, the light goes off and then goes on again. So don't worry. You have to imagine that the hands of the Mona Lisa were redone because one day someone slashed a painting. And at the beginning, the painting was wider, but the frame was too small for the painting, so they cut the sizes. Okay? This painting represents Saint John the Baptist, so it represents a man. And this painting was made by Leonardo da Vinci. And you can see that Saint John the Baptist has the same face as Mona Lisa. That's why some people say that Mona Lisa is a man. Who knows? Maybe you know that Leonardo da Vinci was homosexual. Some people say that Mona Lisa was Leonardo's boyfriend. So you can see that there is another painting there which was made by Leonardo da Vinci. It represents Virgin Mary, Saint Anne and Jesus Christ. What is interesting on that painting is that Virgin Mary seems to be as young as her mother. Saint Anne seems to be of the same age as Virgin Mary. Another painting here represents Virgin Mary, Jesus Christ, Saint John the Baptist. Another painting in front of you, which was made by Leonardo da Vinci. It represents Virgin Mary, an angel, Saint John the Baptist, and Jesus Christ. So you can see always the same subject, the Holy Family, Virgin Mary and the Christ, Saint John the Baptist, Saint Anne. So it was a very popular subject, very fashionable subject to represent the Holy Family. Okay?
Hey Louis, what's that out there?
Louis!
Where's Notre Dame?
Focus on us, we're on the Eiffel Tower.
We were right over there last night by the water fountains on that little platform. And now we're here looking back at the platform.
We're up here on top of on the first lever of the Eiffel Tower.
First floor, yes. There's 366 people have jumped off this Eiffel Tower. Committed suicide. One lady lived. She fell on top of a taxi driver.
Fell in love with him and married him.
A year later, after she came out of the hospital.
Somebody had a baby on the 3rd floor.
Yeah, I would too if I went up to the 3rd. Louis almost had a baby on the elevator, right? Come on, let's go around the other side. For next year, they're painting the Eiffel Tower brown again. It takes 4,000 gallons of paint. And they'll paint it brown again as this color. They already started.
Caca color.
They were gonna do it red, blue.
Then we're gonna paint it
Red, blue, and white. Just like the flag. Let me teach you. Pintura fresca. There's an expensive restaurant here, but upstairs is an expensive restaurant. So we'll skip lunch today. And tonight we're going to the Moulin Rouge. And this is our last day in Paris, so come on. Okay. If you face this way, that's the military academy. And the person responsible for the military academy was Marie Pompadour, Louis XV's girlfriend, one of his mistresses. He had something like 50-some mistresses. But she's responsible for that military academy. And the boys for the military academy are very unhappy because sometimes they get sent to Germany.
They're punks.